Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Life with a Cherry on Top podcast. I'm your host, Emme Nicole, and this is the very first episode. Woo! Y'all, I am so excited, and I'm not gonna lie, I am a little nervous and scared and terrified to kind of bring this project to life and to show it to the world. But as you can see, if you're watching this instead of just listening to it, I cannot stop smiling. I am cheesing so hard. And I can't stop smiling because I'm so excited to finally bring this project to life. But yeah, I've been coming up with excuses to kind of postpone this podcast and coming up with excuses to kind of push back the dates of when I'm gonna first start filming because I was just scared and I didn't know what I was doing really. I still don't. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't. But I think that's kind of the beauty of, just doing it. Kind of just going for it. No better time than the present to do this. But yeah, I was coming up with all these excuses, but I just needed to go for it. So here I am. Also, again, if you're watching this instead of just listening to it and you see me looking this way, it's because I have my iPad here to kind of help me stay on track and give me a little bit of structure for this first episode. So yeah, this episode is just going to be a little get to know me and an introduction to what this podcast is, what it's about, what I'm about. So if you want, go ahead, grab a drink, grab a drink, and grab a little snack, and let's dive right into it. So first, I'm going to kind of just give you a few facts about me, let you guys get to know me a little bit. Again, I'm Emme. It's so nice to meet you, and it's so lovely to have you here. I am beyond excited, if you cannot tell. And my dog is barking downstairs now. Anyways, I'm Emme. I'm going to be 23 in a few months, which is crazy. I know I look like I'm 16. I get that a lot. I do. But that just means that when I'm old, I'm still gonna look young. But yeah, I'm gonna be 23 in June, and I still have to plan my birthday party. I know it's a little early to plan a birthday party, but time comes fast, and I am a procrastinator. So if I don't do it now, well, who knows if it's gonna happen. I have a cat who is my baby. His name is Benji. You'll probably see him on this podcast sometime. He's my absolute baby. He's the sweetest little boy. And I just love him. He is the most precious being in the world. I don't know why I'm nervous, y'all. But anyways, I love reading. I love dancing. I love lattes. You'll probably see me with a latte a lot on this podcast, but I didn't grab one today. I didn't make one today because the past few nights have been such crappy sleeps for me. I have not been sleeping well at all, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to lay off of the coffee today and hope that I have a good sleep tonight. But yes, I love lattes, and not to brag, but I feel like I do make the best lattes. Anyways, I love listening to music. Some of my favorite current TV shows right now are The Vampire Diaries. I have watched it 4+ times at this point. Outer Banks, obsessed. I think I'm on my second rewatch right now. Second or third. I think I'm on my second rewatch right now. We're not gonna talk about the last episode, okay? That does not exist in my brain. I love Night Agent. I just finished the second season. Can't wait for the third season to come out. Don't know when it's coming out, but I'm excited. I am currently watching The Patient. I'm almost done with it. And my mom and my brother were watching it, and they were telling me that I was not going to enjoy it because I want to be a therapist. And they were like, that's going to scare you. That's going to make you not want to be a therapist anymore. But I don't really get scared super easily when it comes to TV shows and movies because my friends and I in college, we would watch horror movies almost every night. We did it at least once or twice a week. We would watch horror movies. So The Patient, not really scary for me right now, at least. I think I'm on like episode 7 or something like that. But I'm almost done with The Patient. I really enjoy it. And I'm also watching The Traitors. I kind of, like the most recent season, I kind of stopped halfway just because I was getting bored with everything. Like, there was nothing I wanted to do, nothing that could keep my attention and keep my focus. But I do love The Traitors, and I need to finish the most recent season. But anyways, that's a little bit about me, who I am, some of my favorite stuff. And now let's kind of get into what the podcast is about and what it's going to be about. So, I'm going to be so honest with you. This podcast is going to be about quite literally anything and everything. From creating goals to talking about books and shows and celebrities and hobbies and mental health and wellness and just living life. I am such a yapper. If you could not tell, I am a yapper. I love to talk. I talk to myself all the time, I talk to myself in the mirror. I oftentimes pretend I already have a podcast. So I was like, you know what, why not bring these thoughts up here and just bring them to the world, let the world know what I'm thinking, even though they didn't ask. But you know what, it's fine. I love talking about anything and everything. If you talk to me about something that I know nothing about, I guarantee I'm still gonna love talking about it because I just love talking. But yeah, let me kind of explain how this podcast came about, especially the title, Life with a Cherry on Top. So originally I had a different title for this podcast that I was obsessed with and that I absolutely adored, and I was like, yes, this is the title of my podcast. But I was doing research to make sure nobody else really had that title, and that if someone did search that title up, it would be easy to kind of find mine, because you kind of want to be able to separate yourself from other people, And so I was obsessed with this title, and I was like, there's no way that I am changing it. But as I was researching to see if anybody had that title already, I found a podcast that had the exact title and a few other podcasts that had very similar titles. And I was so bummed because I was obsessed with the title. I was like, yes, this is it. This explains everything about what the podcast is about. But that did not work out. So I spent the next little while trying to brainstorm titles and just trying to find inspiration, and I could not come up with one that I loved as much. And I knew I wanted the word life in it because that kind of encapsulates everything. I don't want to narrow my podcast down to just a singular niche. Like I said, I love talking about anything and everything. And so if I narrowed it down to one niche or one topic, I would feel like I didn't have that freedom to be able to make this podcast what I want it to be. So I was trying to come up with original and catchy titles to include the word life in it. And, quite literally yesterday, I was still brainstorming titles and trying to find inspiration. And, I have this water bottle here. And so I'm sitting here. I'm literally in my bed. I'm sitting here trying to find inspiration. I take a sip from my water bottle. Still brainstorming, wondering what the heck my title is going to be. And then I look down at my water bottle, and I have this sticker on my water bottle that I just put on very recently. And for those who are listening and not watching, it's a cherry sticker. And it was just like an aha moment, like a bunch of little light bulbs lighting up inside my head. And it just immediately came to me. I looked at my water bottle, saw that sticker, and I was like, life with a cherry on top. It just came to me, and I was so excited. I was like, that's it. That is quite literally it, babes. And I just was so excited about it. I immediately went to my computer, went to Spotify, went to Google, making sure nobody else had that title. And you know what? Nobody has this exact title. Some people might have similar ones, but nobody has this exact title that I know of. at least. I hope I did enough research. But yeah, so life with a cherry on top, like the saying with a little cherry on top, I just want to talk about everything and anything. I want to talk about life and add that little cherry on top, make life exciting, and just kind of live instead of existing, because I feel like that's something I've been doing the past couple years, honestly, is just existing rather than living life. And I was just like, you know what? No, I want to live and not just exist. I want to live life with a cherry on top, So that's kind of how I got the title. And honestly, I think cherries are so cute and so aesthetic. Like the sticker I have on my water bottle. Have you seen those little like crochet like keychains of cherries? I think they're so cute and adorable. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever tried a cherry before. I don't think I've ever tried a cherry before. And if I'm gonna be using this title, I gotta try one soon. But I just I think I've been scared to try them because, they're a little mushy on the inside, and I'm a big texture person. I'm a major texture person when it comes to food, so I think I've been scared to eat cherries. But I'll try one soon, okay? I'll try one soon. Someday. So yeah, that's what this podcast is kind of about, literally anything and everything, how I came with the title, and I think I'm going to be posting about every Wednesday. I am, I have a full-time job. I'm in my master's program for mental health and counseling, so I'm going to try to post every Wednesday, because Wednesdays, I have Wednesdays off every day, at least homework. We'll see once I start up my classes again how that goes. But my plan and my goal is to post every Wednesday. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. I know it's a little short, but this is just the first episode. And this is just a little get to know me episode. Get to know what the podcast is about, But yeah, anyways, I am so excited to be on this journey with you all, and I hope you all enjoy and that you guys decide to come along with me for the journey. So yeah, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like it, leave a review, follow, do whatever. And if you want to see more of my face, you can follow me on Instagram and on YouTube. You can watch this podcast on YouTube as well, if you would prefer to watch it and not just listen to it, because that's how I used to be. When I was watching podcasts, I would have to actually watch them on YouTube because I couldn't just sit there and listen. But yeah, anyways, all my socials will be in the description. And I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you next week. Bye!